Hello, Panthers. Your English teachers, your ninth grade English teachers, are going to walk you through the Cyclops part of the Odyssey in about 8 videos, give or take. And this is part one. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. In order to best do this, I want you to get your close reader. That's the book with the rose on it, but it's not a hardback book. It's the one that has the pages in it that feel a little bit like newspaper that you're allowed to write in. So get your close reader. Go ahead and pause this video and go get your close reader and open it up to page 97. If you are in a situation where you don't have a close reader or you can't find it, then you can go to your online textbook or you can just follow along, and you'll need something that you can write some notes on. So there's 2 ways to get to the right page. There's the easy way and the slow way. Let's do the slow way first. Click on collection 6, Heroes and Quests. You remember that we're talking about heroes. And then in here we have close reader from the Odyssey, and click on it a couple of times because online textbook is not so great with the clicking. And then I'm going to adjust my, I want to do scrolling, I think, like this. Yep, that'll work. So that is the slow way to get to the correct page. The fast way is, and we'll go back to the beginning so that we are not cheating. Oh, here we go, collection opener. The fast way is to click up here at the top where it says go to page and click and type in CR97. CR97, that will take you straight to the first page of the Cyclops. And I'm going to zoom in because it will make it easier for you to read and harder for me to take notes, but we'll just make the best of it. All right, we are on page 97. There it is. CR97. Can have all kinds of fun with this. CR97. There it is. That's what you want to type in if you're on your online textbook so you can find it. But hopefully you are holding that close reader, that softback book in your hand. All right, before we start, nobody knows who Homer really is. We'll never know until you build a time machine, which you won't do because if you built one, we'd already have it. We're learning about Odysseus, and here Odysseus is telling the story of meeting the Cyclops named Polyphemus. So when there's someone speaking, it is Odysseus. Some things to do while you're reading: underline Odysseus's values. Well, the text that shows Odysseus's values. Summarize the description of the Cyclops. Highlight Odysseus's purpose. All right. Page 97 in your close reader workbook. Here we go. In the next land we found were Cyclopes, giants, louts, without a law to bless them. A lout is an aggressive, rude person. In ignorance, leaving the fruitage of the earth in mystery to the immortal gods, they neither plow nor sow by hand, nor till the ground, though grain, wild wheat and barley, grows untended, and wine grapes in clusters ripen in heaven's rain. What? What is this? In ignorance, leaving the fruitage of the earth in mystery to the immortal gods, they neither plow nor sow by hand. All right, so what is happening here is the Cyclopes are too stupid to know how to farm. Ignorance means they don't know. They don't plow. They don't plant seeds by hand. They don't use rakes, shovels. A till is like a hoe, a tool for digging up the ground so you can plant seeds. But the land is good for growing things because things grow without anyone helping, without anyone farming. Things tend to grow. Wild wheat, barley, and wine grapes are growing. Okay, so I think we can think about what's happening here. What does Odysseus care about if he thinks that people who don't farm are stupid? Go ahead and hit the pause button after you listen to the directions. Right over here, what kind of person is Odysseus if Odysseus thinks that people who don't farm are stupid. What does Odysseus care about? Ready? Write it down. Okay, moving on. Cyclopes have no muster and no meeting, no consultation or old tribal ways, but each one dwells in his own mountain cave, dealing out rough justice to wife and child, indifferent to what others do. I think that you can see here there's no communication, there's no old rules. The United States, we have a constitution, those are our rules. We have meetings, our government meets regularly. Other countries have their own rules, but the Cyclopes, as a cultural group, they have no rules, no government. I think that you can pick up on Odysseus's feelings about this. Make a note of it. How does Odysseus feel about people who don't have respect for old tribal ways? Okay. When the textbook uses italics like this, that tells you that we are summarizing. And maybe you can see it up here. Where did it go? There it is. We've turned the page to Close Reader 98. Across the bay from the land of the Cyclopes was a lush, deserted island. Odysseus and his crew landed on the island in a dense fog and spent days feasting on wine and wild goats and observing the mainland where the Cyclopes lived. On the third day, Odysseus and his company of men set out to learn if the Cyclopes were friends or foes. When the young dawn with fingertips of rose came in the east, I called my men together and made a speech to them. Old shipmates, friends, the rest of you, stand by. I'll make the crossing in my own ship, with my own company, and find out what the mainland natives are. For they may be wild savages and lawless, or hospitable and God-fearing men. Let's pause for a second and think. Odysseus says he's going to find out. What kind of person wants to find things out? That would be a great inference about Odysseus. Can you tell? Is he hoping that they're going to be wild savages? Or is he hoping that they are hospitable and God-fearing men? I think that we've already talked about this as a class. If we haven't, you're going to want to ask your teacher about this idea. At this, I went aboard and gave the word to cast off by the stern. To cast off by the stern means to untie the boat by the back. The stern is the back of the boat. My oarsmen followed, filling into their benches by the rowlocks, and all in line dipped oars in the gray sea. The rowlocks are holes in the side of the boat that the oars fit in. So this is not like a kayak or a canoe. Maybe you've seen a stand-up paddleboard. Those don't have rowlocks. This is a ship that has holes in the side of the boat that the oars go through. As we rowed on and nearer to the mainland, at one end of the bay, we saw a cavern yawning above the water, screened with laurel and many rams and goats about the place inside a sheepfold. A sheepfold is a fenced area for the sheep. The sheepfold is made from slabs of stone, earth-fast between tall trunks of pine and rugged, towering oaks. So this is a fence made out of whole trees. So let's think about who would be strong enough, to make a fence out of giant slabs of stone and whole trees. So that gives you an idea about the Cyclops. And here we are. It is line 31. We're going to stop the end of video part 1. Go ahead and complete these tasks. In the margin of your close reader, what is Odysseus bringing with him to the island? What are the things that he says he has? And we might not have all of those yet, so some of them might be coming up in video part 2. And I would encourage you to give it a try on your own. See if you can read ahead a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's scrolling so bad. What can you write on this space here? What can you write about the values of Odysseus and the people who are reading the Odyssey? What should we care about? What does Odysseus care about? Write it in here. Okay, thank you for listening to part 1. We'll tune in next time for part 2.